In a world built to break your spirit, there's one thing that can never be taken from you: your will to fight. This video isn't here to comfort you, it's here to wake you up. If you've ever felt like you were meant for more, like your potential is still locked behind fear, comfort, or excuses, this is your call to rise. But before we dive into the fire, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop of real raw content that pushes you forward. Now take a deep breath, because everything changes from here. We come into this world with nothing but breath in our lungs and the unknown ahead. No titles, no chains, no definitions, just the raw potential to shape what life becomes. But somewhere along the way, that freedom starts to slip, not because it's taken, but because we forget it's ours. Some are taught early to shrink, to obey, to compromise. Others are boxed in by the invisible boundaries of circumstance. Yet, when you look beyond the noise, beyond the rules, the expectations, the fear, you'll find that freedom was never out there. It was always internal. That's what makes it worth every drop of sweat and every scar earned in pursuit of it. The greatest lie we're told is that freedom is comfortable, that it comes easy, gift-wrapped in privilege or status. But real freedom? It's carved out of fire and grit. It's standing your ground when the odds demand your surrender. It's waking up with a spine stiffened by purpose, not permission. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength, said Marcus Aurelius. And he was right. Because the moment you decide to fight, not with fists, but with intent, you reclaim what was always yours. You stop waiting for permission to live. You start writing the terms of your life with ink that only you hold. To fight for freedom doesn't always mean a battlefield. Sometimes it's a quiet war, the decision to break a toxic pattern, the discipline to chase growth over comfort, the refusal to let your past dictate your future. Every time you choose discomfort for the sake of becoming better, you are fighting. Every time you say no to mediocrity, you're declaring war on the cage you didn't ask for, but were handed. That's the real revolution. Not against systems alone, but against stagnation. And it starts the moment you say, I deserve more, and I'm willing to earn it. So no, it doesn't matter how harsh the world can be. It doesn't matter how many forces stand in your way, people, pain, or doubt. The only thing that matters is the fire inside you that refuses to die no matter how cold life gets. That's the heartbeat of freedom. That's what makes it worth fighting for, not because it's handed to you, but because it's yours to claim. This world, raw, relentless, beautiful in its brutality, doesn't hand change to anyone. It demands it. And the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck isn't talent, luck, or even opportunity. It's sacrifice. That brutal, unglamorous willingness to give something up now to gain something greater later. The cold reality. If you're not willing to let go of comfort, of excuses, of the things that keep you soft, you will never taste transformation. Change doesn't ask for convenience. It demands a price, and most aren't willing to pay it. What's holding you back isn't some external villain. It's the quiet voice inside you saying, maybe later. It's the habits you protect, the lies you rehearse, the comfort zones you guard like treasure. You created them, one small compromise at a time. You fortified them with every excuse, every skipped opportunity, every time you chose easy over growth. And now you sit behind walls, wondering why your life feels smaller than it should. But if you were powerful enough to build this prison, then you're powerful enough to break out of it. And that's the truth too many run from. Your freedom is your responsibility. Take a long look in the mirror, not the polished one, but the unforgiving one. The one that reflects your potential as much as your apathy. Are you proud of what you see? Or do you feel the sting of wasted power, wasted days, wasted chances? Eric Thomas once said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. That kind of hunger isn't poetic. It's primal. It's savage. It wakes up before the sun. It keeps moving when everything hurts. And until you burn for change more than you crave comfort, you'll stay exactly where you are, dreaming of better, but doing nothing about it. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. No one's coming. No one is going to drag you out of mediocrity. No one will rescue you from your habits, your fear, your self-doubt. If you want a different life, you'll have to become someone different. Someone willing to confront the beast in the mirror. Someone willing to fight tooth and nail against the smallness within. And yes, sometimes that means becoming a little dangerous. Not reckless, but powerful, unshakable. Someone who has looked hell in the eye and said, "Not today," because that's what it takes to win. Not perfection, but relentless commitment. If this were your last day, your final breath, your closing moment, what would die with you? What songs would go unsung? What books unwritten? What visions never seen? Buried deep beneath your daily routine lie gifts the world may never know if you keep living on autopilot. The clock is ticking, not as a threat, but as a truth. And maybe it's time you stopped numbing yourself with distractions and started getting furious. Not at the world, but at what you've tolerated. Get mad at the mediocrity you've called normal. Get mad at the talents you've left dormant. Let that fire ignite, not to burn bridges, but to burn limits. There's a version of you that only exists on the other side of a fight. And no, this isn't some romantic metaphor. It's war. Not against others, but against the version of you that craves comfort over growth. That side of you that wants to hit snooze, coast through the day, and settle for good enough. You have to wage war on that version daily, because if you don't fight, you surrender. And if you surrender, you vanish. Slowly, quietly, without ever realizing who you could have become. The pain of discipline is nothing compared to the regret of inaction. Ask yourself, how much longer are you going to betray your own potential? Discipline isn't a cage, it's a sword. It's what cuts through the noise, through the excuses, through the chaos of life. You think freedom is doing what you want when you want? That's an illusion. Freedom is earned, and it's discipline that earns it. Jocko Willink said it best. Discipline equals freedom. Because once you master yourself, your thoughts, your time, your habits, there's nothing anyone can take from you. Want more options? Build consistency. Want more power? Master routine. Want to break the chains holding you back? Forge a schedule, not just for your tasks, but for your evolution. Every morning is a battleground. The moment your eyes open, the war begins. And you have two choices: to armor up and move forward, or to fold beneath the weight of yesterday. Being a warrior isn't about aggression, it's about intention, about choosing growth over comfort, progress over pity. And if you want to live differently, you'll have to become someone different. Your enemies aren't out there. They're the old patterns, the outdated beliefs, the lesser version of you clinging to survival. Kill it off. Rise with a fire that says, "I will not stay the same." And keep moving forward until everything that once held you back is reduced to ash. Every single day is a battle, and the first blow you land is the one that sets the tone. Wake up with intent, not to survive, but to conquer. Beat the version of you that wants to snooze just a little longer, that wants to coast through life with excuses disguised as reasons. Strengthen your mind before the world has a chance to break it. Read, reflect, breathe with purpose. And when the day begins, don't run from the hardest task. Run toward it. Because every time you choose difficulty, you gain discipline. And every time you move forward in the face of resistance, you prove that momentum is your weapon. The most powerful people you'll ever meet aren't chasing cheap highs. They're not obsessed with feeling good. They're obsessed with becoming great. Because they've realized something the world doesn't say out loud. Fulfillment doesn't come from ease. It comes from meaning. Viktor Frankl, a man who found purpose in the darkest of human suffering, said, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." The happiest people aren't smiling because life is easy. They're smiling because they're bleeding for something bigger than themselves. And in that sacrifice, happiness doesn't have to be pursued. It arrives uninvited but welcome. So ask yourself, what fuels your fire? What vision keeps your spirit alive when the world tries to suffocate it? Maybe it's redemption. Maybe it's proving wrong everyone who said you couldn't. Maybe it's love, a promise to someone who believed in you before you believed in yourself. Whatever it is, let it become your reason, your mission, your anchor. Because when your purpose outweighs your pain, no setback is fatal, no failure is final. You'll walk through storms with your head high because you know exactly why you're walking and exactly where you're going. I still believe in dreams, not the soft, fluffy kind, but the kind that rip you from mediocrity and demand that you rise. I believe in your dream, the one buried beneath fear, buried beneath routine. The one you stopped talking about because it hurt too much to admit you weren't living it. But hear this, it's not too late. Not if you're breathing. On the other side of your fear lies power. On the other side of your comfort lies growth. And on the other side of this very moment, this fight, is the life you were meant to build. One decision, one step, one day at a time. So go get it. So make a vow, not to me, not to the world, but to the warrior within you. A silent, unbreakable oath that says, no matter how many times I stumble, I will rise. No matter how deep the wounds, I will not retreat. No matter who turns their back on me, I will not turn my back on myself. This is your moment to draw the line in the sand. This is where the old you ends. You were not put on this earth to merely exist. You were born to fight for something, to rise through the fire, to claim the power that's always lived inside you. From this day forward, let every scar be a reminder that you survived what tried to break you. Let every fall become fuel. And when doubt comes, because it will, meet it with resolve, not retreat. You were born with the freedom to choose. You were born with the ability to fight. And that alone makes you more powerful than every excuse, every fear, every voice that told you to play small. This world may not hand you your dream, but it will never stop you from building it, step by step, with blood and grit and fire. This is it, the moment to rise, the moment to unleash everything you've held back. No more waiting, no more wondering, no more wishing. The time for playing safe has passed. Stand up, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Rise with every fiber of your being. Take the hits, take the pain, take the doubt, and move forward anyway. Not because it's easy, but because freedom is never given. It's taken, it's earned, it's fought for. So keep moving forward, until your chains are dust, until your silence becomes a roar, until the life you've dreamed of is the life you live. The world doesn't owe you anything, but you owe yourself everything. And it starts right here, right now, with a choice. Make it count.